Pastor Tunde Bakare is a man who has been speaking eloquently, speaking against the formation, the pattern in which this present government is using to govern Nigeria as a nation. Recently, he did a broadcast where he lambasted the National Assembly that they are now rubber stamp, almost like an extension of the executive. We have never seen a situation where the executive is saying this, the National Assembly on their own will be saying this is our stand. It has never been so. Almost like they are now dancing to the tune of the president or your mandate, which has stand. Recently, that same Pastor Tunde Bakare, we are seen with our president shaking hands with him. And so many persons went against it that most men of God are hypocrites. There's nothing, so long as Nigeria as a nation is concerned, that money cannot buy. And we have seen so many cases where some big political opponents defecting to APC, making APC just only one party before 2027, so that our president can have his easy way to Aso Rock. And today, Pastor Tunde Bakare is also there. Now, before you jump into conclusion why he was there, there's a video where he granted an interview to tell the world that this is what I went there for. But some persons, on the other hand, are not too comfortable with that. But one thing I always tell people sometimes is that it's one thing to air your own view. It's another thing for that person which you talk against to invite you so that two of you can have one-on-one rapport. Now, hear him out the main purpose why he was invited, or rather why he went there to meet with the president one-on-one.
So we have you in the country as one of those who speak truth to power. And you have demonstrated that recently, expressing your views about the administration. What specifically are those things you have reservations about?
Well, it's not about just reservations. It's about how the country will go well. My life, personal vision is to see a nation that works in my lifetime. And those things I've discussed with Mr. President. They're not hidden things, but I've learned that when you discuss with the person in charge, you leave it with him to do whatsoever he wills with what you have suggested. So I've had a private conversation with Mr. President, and I'm glad that he received me well, and I trust that God will help our nation.
What areas specifically do you want him to improve on?
I've just told you what transpired in my discussion with him stays with me and with him. God guiding him and giving him wisdom will help this nation not to slide or go down the drain, but to bounce back so that it can leave a mark that cannot be erased.
Okay. So now, what do you like to see in the next 2 years of this administration?
Well, I like to see a peaceful nation. I like to see Nigerians being their brother's keeper. I like to see good collaboration between the best of the North and the best of the South to steer Nigeria in the right direction. I like to see predictable progress in our nation. We have danced around some subjects for too long a time. It's time to take concrete action to ensure that the mercies of our country do not live in abject poverty. That's all.
When it comes to anything politics, it's all about interest. I believe you have heard from him until him on his own now categorically come out to declare his intention, or rather his support for president. I think we shouldn't insinuate, conclude yet. Because if every other person just want to support the agenda of Mr. President at the moment, I believe somebody like him have to stand aloof and watch carefully, if not for anything, for the fact that he has large congregations who are looking up to him. Because before you can open your mouth as a man of God to say anything, sometimes you need to be very careful. Whatever you say will go a long way in the lives of those who are looking up to you for direction. Anyway, Whatever you think, drop your comment or comment section. Once again, share, follow the page. Thank you as you do so.